So I'm really trying to get deep into that hip capsule because again, our pelvis plays tug of war with each side. So when we do this exercise, it can be really helpful to like pay attention to what's the right side feel like, what's the left side feel like. And then as we start to work to just bring that balance back to our pelvis, it can help our hips to feel so much better. It can help our back, and it can also help our pelvic floor. Hey, I'm Erica Zeal, creator of Core Athletica instructor training courses and the Core Rehab program. Today I want to talk about hip dance. It's an exercise that I love teaching to my clients because I have discovered over my 20 plus years of teaching is that so many of us are walking around with so much restriction in our hips, in our pelvis, right? If we want to connect the dots with this conversation and pelvic floor function, it absolutely matters. So in order to have more optimal pelvic floor deep core function, we have to be addressing what's going on with our hips. So this hip dance exercise, it's super simple and super effective and yet a little bit kind of funky to figure out. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys this. It's something I encourage instructors start working with their clients as well because it's a really good way for us to start to feel what's going on around our right hip capsule and our left hip capsule. Are we pulling in our lower back on one side versus the other? What's going on with our lower belly, right? Because we want to really, as we get stronger and stronger, we want to make sure we're moving a little bit from our deep core, not just with our limbs. So go ahead and watch me and then lay down onto your stomach. And I recommend for this one to keep your legs parallel when we do this, and then put your hands underneath your forehead like this. Now I'm going to come up a little bit so you guys can hear me well, so my mic is not muffled, but just to remind you, this is your positioning. Okay, I'm going to come up so you guys can hear me well. And so when we do this, what you're going to do is I encourage initially take a nice deep breath into your lower back. So we want to breathe through our nose into our lower back. So we want to try to release any tension that we might be having in our lower back. And then what I want you to do is reach lightly through both legs, and then we're going to take our right hip and bring it up towards our ear. And then our left hip is going to come up. Now I'm not lifting my leg off the mat. I'm just going up and down. So it's a really small movement, and for some of you, you might notice you barely move. If you start to move your pelvis and your hips and you feel it cranking on your lower back, then I want you to move even slower. And maybe even take a second, like release your glutes completely, like maybe wiggle those hips around. And I want you to think about taking a deep inhale into your lower back, and then exhale, think pelvic floor, lower belly. Just feel that light lower belly activation. Reach through your legs, squeeze your glutes a little bit. Don't over squeeze your glutes. And that's the thing, if you're feeling it in your low back, probably think about letting go of your glutes and only activating them like 25%. So if you're not sure what that is, clench them really tight and let go like 75% of the way. Now, when we go up and down with our hips, it's a small movement. So if I'm laying all the way down, I don't want to see like that upper body moving, which I see that a lot because our body loves to cheat. So relax your shoulders and keep your movement really small. Good. So on the video, you probably don't even see me moving a lot. It's just my hips going up and down like this. So I'm really trying to get deep into that hip capsule because again, our pelvis plays tug of war with each side. So when we do this exercise, it can be really helpful to like pay attention to what's the right side feel like, what's the left side feel like. Maybe you notice the right side feels really tight, so maybe you're over activating your glute. So let go of your glute a little bit. Maybe your left side's a little weaker. Think about activating that left glute a little bit more. And then as we start to work to just bring that balance back to our pelvis, it's going to help our hip. It can help our hips to feel so much better. It can help our back, and it can also help our pelvic floor. So I like this exercise. This is an exercise that I love doing maybe before or after doing some Swan preps, some back extensions, things like that. I do it with clients. Sometimes a client will come and say, oh, well, one of my legs, I think is shorter than the other. And can be, absolutely. Some people have one leg that can be a little bit shorter, longer than the other. But I always want to look at the pelvis because sometimes we can just be so jammed up in our pelvis that it appears as though our legs are not quite even, and really it can be from our pelvis. So much of what I work with clients and through my programs, and I teach instructors through my courses, is we have to look at the pelvis. Now we have to look at the whole body, absolutely. But time and time again, I start with my clients, what's going on with their pelvis, and then we radiate out from there, and it is phenomenal, the results that I see happen. So it's so amazing. You guys, if you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to reach out. Check out my other videos for more tips and tricks with deep core movement. And as always, head on over to my website, ericazeal.com, for more information. See you guys again soon.